What's going on, everyone? It's Jeremy. Okay, yeah, I know it's not much, but I wanted to show you this early setup before we start building really high and get way up here into the clouds. Literally. It's going to be my grain elevator. This is going on the farm, and I've made it to where I can rotate it out with one of my barns and silos. You can see here, you come up the ramp, and come in, make it drive through just enough to where we've got some grain pits. And I made this, go through this, we've got a little office here, cookie, a little bit of food. Oh yeah, we got a clock on the wall too. It's just a little office right here. Oops, didn't mean to bump the camera. Got our grain pit stuff. And then this right here, I'm going to make, it's where the grain elevator is going to be. So I need to make that, so that's why there's a little cutout. In here, it's just dead space. Unless I decide to do some kind of interior with some of the grain bins, which I don't think I will, but we never know. Okay, so let me get Fireball over here, and we've got the grain trailer, and we just fell apart. So let me grab that piece. Okay, so we'll come up. I've made it to where I can just take this off and move it, which is the ideal thing. But we'll pull in right about here. And then my trailer has these little, this custom trailer, grain trailer. It's got these little pits, which I can pull these out. And yeah, see the stuff just falls right in to those pits. So that's why these are strategically placed right here close together and not way over here, just for this specific setup. All right, well, here's the farm. We're going to take out that red barn and the tall silo. It's on a 48 by 48 base plate. We'll take that off. Should come off fairly easy. That way, if I want to move this barn back at some point and the silo, it's just going to come back really easy, so I can do a switch. The small silo we'll leave there. You can see where it's split, just where that'll just slide out. I can move it away, and then if I want to put it back, no issues. You see the train there, so we're going to end up having the downspout chute from the grain tower over to the train, and we've got those hopper cars right there that I can just hopefully load. May have to make an extra long chute to reach those, but still, we're good with that. So I think that's the best way. I don't want to move that road because it kind of services a few different aspects of the town. Then, so I guess the next thing I got to do is get busy building this because I don't want to mess this up. Yeah, the audio kind of screwed up on this. I think my receiver died, so that's why I got to do this voiceover. So back to progress. This is what we've got so far. All red. Yeah, it really stands out. Here's what it's going to look like. Probably going to end up being 3 foot tall. You can see some lettering on the side there. We'll do that too. Working on this new roof idea design. We're just going to add some panels to the top. I'm going to tile that off as well. Make a corrugated roof design. And yeah, I think that's the best way to go. Yeah, it's very red. Yes, it's very boxy. But that's just the way that the real design is. So now back over here, that's where that road's going to be, and the train tracks will be on the back side. So I'll need to add the discharge to be able to load the grain into the trains. So it's going to have to come somewhere in here, and then it's going to have to be able to, like on my hand motions, to be able to fold closed to where it's not always hanging over the road. See some little tiny windows, really just to add some sunlight, daylight inside where the truck pulls in. All right, we'll come in a little closer at this roof. You can see it's just sitting on there, kind of just slides off. I need to add a little piece of guttering on the bottom, which is just those same pieces like that have the little rail on it. They work great for guttering. That's going to be a door that slides closed, but I'll do that on all of them. Once we come up, we'll have to add more, kind of like this design here. You can see the side doors coming in and the lettering. So that's one thing we're going to try to do just to make it to where it's not just a complete red box, where there is some kind of coloring on it. And yeah, like I said, probably 3 foot tall. I think right now it's just under a foot, maybe right at a foot tall. So we got a lot to go. I got a lot of the pieces off the Pick-a-Brick wall at the Lego store, a lot of the red 1x8s, 1x4s. So I really just had to buy some 1x1s, 2s, and 3s for those just odd dimensions and to make the corners kind of match up. So back to the farm. Like I said, that's where it's going to sit. We'll have the discharge going over to the trains. And the other thing is, I just want to have another tall building on this side of the city or the farm. Kind of encompass the whole city because I've got those tall buildings, the Scrooge McDuck money bin over there, and the other ones. So that's why. So lettering wise, probably do that. Come up, I don't know how tall it's going to be, probably 16 or so bricks tall for the lettering. Some kind of grain company, probably my last name, Medleyj, and then grain company all in lettering. So stay tuned for another video because I will have that, do a progress for it as I go. I also had to make this modular, so I think 20 or so bricks high. There's some tiles under it, and I can just take this off. That way I can store it and move it easier if I need to store it for a while and put the barn back. But you can see the roof. Yeah, I don't like the exposed studs. It's also going to be a pain to try to dust, so that's why I'm going to cover it with tile, and that way it'll be way, way easier to clean in the long run. You can see here's the modular aspect of it. Trying to do it one-handed is a challenge for sure, but just to be able to move it off, you can get a better view down in there of the grain pits. And yeah, it just sits right back on there. You can see just a couple, and then here's the first big section. This section, it's going to be a huge section to take off, but to be able to move it, if I ever want to take it to a show or something and display it, or if somebody has a train set up and they just need a building like this as a collaboration with somebody else, yeah, I can do that. Then we get it back, all put back together. One of the other things I wanted to do, yeah, I can store the stuff in there. That's really just all that's about. I want to show you this new barn door idea. Now, it's still a very much work in progress, but using those rail pieces, those modified plates with the rail on the side, it's kind of a thing that they did in the early 1980s where they had special doors. But yeah, in today's Lego buildings, the 6-wide cars and the bigger, taller vehicles, they're just too big to use the old pieces. So we have to come up with a new idea. And what I've come up with is using the steering wheels just as the roller piece. And yeah, it's just a quick little thing with some panels. So I'm going to build custom doors, make them look like barn doors with the white cross beams, kind of like my barn is. And they sit right on that rail. Trying to do it one-handed is always a challenge, and film. But they'll sit on there and they'll slide. I need to make the doors wide enough so that doesn't catch right there. But that's how it's going to work. I think it's going to look really well. So that way I can close the doors when the barn, or it's not in use, open them when we have a vehicle, like Fireball, coming in to park there and unload all the grain. But yeah, they do fall off really easy, so that's another small issue, but it's a manageable thing. But yeah, I'm going to do that on both sides. That way I can totally cover it up and kind of go from there. I might add a little stopper somewhere on one side, or maybe even on the outside of the barn. Just add like a post or something so the door doesn't come all the way across that way, because then it would be in the road the way I've got this positioned. Or no, it wouldn't be on the road. It would actually be just hanging off the side of the table, which I don't want either, because I'm sure I'll knock it over and break something. Now, hopefully you're still watching. I know we've went over several things several times, but anyway, yeah, using those steering wheels, I need to buy some more to just all have one color rather than just a mixture. So that'll be on a list, a future Bricklink order to get it. But that's how it's going to hang like that. We'll get the roof on. I do have an update coming up fairly soon. I think I've got enough pieces. I've got all this still in the tray that are all new red bricks. Most of them the 1x4s and 1x8s, which is what most of it is. I think having a ton of those made it go really fast. So once you start building, it goes really fast when you're just building with one color. which is why I don't want to do that and add some lettering and stuff to it. But I do have these pick-a-brick boxes I got on the Lego at the Lego store that are all just 1x8s. And then I've got this whole tray too. Some of it's mixed, used, and new. I'll have to go through that. So a lot of the small pieces in there. So yeah, I've got enough pieces to build it, other than the roof, which I do have an order coming from Lego to finish up. But yeah, then we put it in the city. We'll come over here in the farm. One view of the farm. I know I haven't showed it that much. But yeah, we've got our tall buildings there. And I just wanted to add more to my city. So we've got, yeah, how tall those are. The car vending machine over there and the Scrooge McDuck money bin. So I just wanted to add something on that side of the farm or the city, just to give it more of a full look, maybe a better depth perception look. But anyway, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you liked it. Check out the other videos that I've got on the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.